and I don't remember if it was a guy from Screen Rant or a Critical Drinker. Somebody described him perfectly. Because he makes a ridiculous decision, it blows up in his face, and then he smugly stares at the camera. Yes.
Just as I had planned. Yeah.
He is a stupid person's idea of what a smart person is.
Yes.
We were sitting around at brunch the other day. My wife was there, and my mother-in-law was there as well. And you know, she's an older lady, and she said, "Yeah, I've been thinking about this, and actually, I think I might want to be cremated after all."
Okay.
I said, "All right, Teresa, get your shoes and coat."
Welcome to Two Gaming Dudes, and yeah,
Zombies, stormtroopers.
Whew. Okay,
I'm so glad this is over.
So am I.
I'm so fucking glad this piece of shit show is over.
And yet, nothing happened.
Nothing happened in the entire series.
Like this whole series was a build-up to something else that might show up later, I guess.
I was struggling to come up with something. This is episode 8, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. What a sloppy, stupid, fucking ridiculous. It's episode 8, but also just the series in general overview on why it sucked. I was struggling to come up with something positive to say about it. I've got one. It looks and feels like proper Star Wars.
It does. Visually, I will definitely give it that. It does feel proper Star Wars.
The art direction is familiar. They're on, Republic ships, and you recognize the technology. Okay, the art direction is correct. And that virtual set that they use, the stagecraft volume, it's called.
Okay.
If you don't know, you can find videos on it. It's basically a giant room, and the walls of the ceiling of the room are covered in LCD lights. And rather than use a green screen like we use, a computer actually lights up the screen, so you're actually standing inside a lit set.
Yeah, it's like a giant TV, like a huge, monstrous television that they're in front of.
And it actually was developed for The Mandalorian.
Mm-hmm.
But ILM has gotten really, really good at using it. And it looks good.
It does.
So I'll give them that. It looks like Star Wars. It's recognizable as Star Wars. But the story is just so motherfucking stupid. And not just because you've retconned everything. It's because none of it makes any fucking sense.
Now, on top of it not making any sense, I know you visually, yes, it does feel like Star Wars, but oh my gosh, the actual cinematography of this show, like the actual art, is so blocky and done like almost like a sitcom.
Yeah.
Like you have the cameras back at a certain angle and you never bother to move them around. You never follow actors. You just set cameras in the back, wide shot, maybe a close up, and then back to wide shot again.
Yeah.
Like it's very boring camera work.
It screams of a guy that isn't really a filmmaker, never really studied filmmaking, just read a pamphlet and got the basics. That said, okay, we're supposed to get a master shot and then a dialogue shot of each piece of dialogue, and that's it. And then we need B team to do some films of like close-ups of buttons getting pushed. That's all we need? All right, let's do that.
For me, it screams someone who is very used to working in television animation.
Yeah.
Where we drew a background and the characters are going to be there. And if he was like, all right, then move the camera. No, there's none of that. It's just, we got
this
a background. This is
the background we have.
If I draw another background, it's another $1 million. Oh, okay. Well, then just keep the one.
So, I mean, I guess let's get into the plot of episode 8.
Sure. Why not? You
God,
have to read it. I don't remember
anything. So, Morgan Elspeth, you did really good. The sisters are going to reward you with a magic sword.
I actually expected like the Zelda music. It's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
We're going to make you ugly and give you a magic sword. Okay, that's your grammar.
Thanks, jerks.
You know what's odd? Last night, I knew we were going to do this. I thought to myself, let me watch the episode one more time. And within 2 minutes, I was like, nope.
Can't do it.
I can't. I ended up getting 5 minutes into it. But only because I wanted to see when they make Elspeth, witchy and mess her face up.
Right.
I want to see, do I still want to fuck Diane Inosanto when she's made up ugly? And
the answer is yes.
I do.
Yes.
I still do.
Yes.
Yeah. So I got 5 minutes. Anyway, so there's a gunfight, and Ahsoka and Ren and Bridger, they make their way towards the Chimera, where the ship is loading the cargo and they're getting ready to leave.
Mhm.
Why haven't they left days ago? I don't know.
I didn't. But they've decided now because you got to wait till the last minute.
And they're confronted by Morgan Elspeth and the night troopers, who are zombies now. They literally, we're zombies now.
The zombies, and they actually do the zombie roars, and they walk like zombies, and
So
like it's the
Sabine goes from 2 days ago not being able to move a cup into doing some fucking Yoda Ben Kenobi shit, tossing Ezra onto the fucking flight deck of the ship because she just became a Jedi a minute ago, I guess.
You know, each one of these episodes I watched with the 14-year-old, right?
How long did he last on
he's
this
trying.
one?
The moment the zombie troopers got up, he did exactly this. He went, "I'm out," and he just got up and left, and didn't come back.
Do you blame him?
No.
So the ship jumps out of there, and Ezra is on there, but our heroes are left on Peridia. So they go back to the little turtle people because they're going to live with them now.
Yay, turtle people!
And then it shows Hati, the hot Russian girl, teams up with the Raiders.
That's her name, isn't it? Hottie.
Hati, yeah.
Hottie? Yeah.
And then Skull goes and finds a statue of himself. But we know it's the Mortis god.
No, we don't. Did you know that? How did you know that? Did he say it?
No, but it's obviously got to be. Because we saw the Mortis, the father, son, daughter.
Did we?
Yeah. In
I
Rebels.
don't. Well, in Rebels.
Yeah.
Did we see it in this?
No, for all you know is he found a statue of a guy that looks just like him.
That's what I thought. I thought he found a statue of himself, and I was like, wow, he had so much time on his hands. He built this statue by himself just so he could hang out on it and look cool. Either that, or he walked so far that he left the set and ended up in Lord of the Rings and was like, yeah, this is much better. I'm just going to hang here.
It looks like me. And, so Sabine and Ahsoka are living with the turtle people, and then the camera pans over, and it's Anakin again! Because
why not? And you're like, Anakin, don't you have kids of your own? I do have kids, but they suck. I really hate them. So I'm going to hang out here with my coworker.
So basically all that happens
We had
is,
more in common.
in 8 episodes, all that has happened is they've switched planets now.
Yes.
So now Ahsoka and Sabine are stranded on Peridia in the
Sure.
other galaxy, and Ezra and Thrawn are back in our familiar galaxy.
I guess.
That's all that's happened in 8 episodes.
So when Ezra comes off the shuttle,
You're
and he's
right.
wearing full stormtrooper armor, and I'm like, you were the only one in that shuttle. There was no one else in there.
Yeah.
Why are you still wearing this? And there's a bunch of soldiers.
Why haven't
down
you
there who
shot
are-
him already?
Yeah, the soldiers are all trigger happy as it is. They just should have shot him a couple dozen times, and then when, oh my god, it's Ezra. My bad.
When they're making... Okay, here's my notes. Guess what? You've been invited to join the Night Sisters officially. Here's your magic sword, and we're going to make you ugly. And it pans over, and Thrawn is... You can tell he's thinking the same thing as me. What the fuck is this shit?
I would have paid money to have that line come out of him just to watch. What the fuck is this shit?
I mean, the actor was certainly thinking it.
Yeah, he's been thinking it for episodes, for like multiple.
There's a throwaway scene where Ezra's building a lightsaber because now he wants it. Before, when they were in a fight, he didn't want it. He was
I
gonna
don't
use
want that one. That
Force
one's
karate.
That one's stupid. I want to make my own.
Hu Yang happens to have, hey, here's some random trinket that we've never seen before. It used to belong to Kanan.
Did it really?
Sure, here's some fucking random piece of junk we've never mentioned before, but that has supposed to have some kind of fucking meaning for us,
Okay.
even though we've never mentioned it before.
Awesome.
You remember there's a line Ahsoka gives? If Sabine unlocked her potential, she could be dangerous. Well, luckily she fucking sucks.
So we don't have to worry about that.
She sucks at everything she's done. Sabine, much like Thrawn, fails at every task they undergo. Everything. He's supposed to be your Thanos. He sucks. He makes stupid decisions, and I don't remember if it was a guy from Screen Rant or Critical Drinker. Somebody described him perfectly. Because he makes a ridiculous decision, it blows up in his face, and then he smugly stares at the camera. Yes.
Just as I had planned. Yeah.
He is a stupid person's idea of what a smart person is.
Yes, that is exactly it. And for people like me, I've never read the Thrawn books. I don't know anything about him. So when I see online everybody talking about how amazing this Thrawn is and what a brilliant tactician, he looks like a dorky moron.
Yeah.
He has yet to make a single, like, intelligent
He tactically
decision.
fucks up every single time.
He's like a Saturday morning cartoon villain. He's
Yeah,
right
he's
up there with
Skeletor.
he's right there with Skeletor and Mum-Ra and all the other idiots.
They're just not he's not a real threat.
Like, Thrawn, what's your next plan? I shall litter the water with dirty diapers. Whoa, Cobra! Well, that's
Sir,
a stupid plan.
It
sir.
didn't work. It turns out there's a filter in front of the sluice gate where they dump water. Just as I expected. Okay, so
To put it in perspective, I think Dr. Evil succeeded more often than Thrawn did.
yeah, maybe. Yeah, he did.
And had a smarter plan.
He at least got the nuclear weapons. Yeah. Do you remember there's a scene where Ahsoka's gonna buy them time? Get to the ship. I'll hold off these zombie stormtroopers. She gets into this big empty room and she gets her lightsabers out and she goes like this and waits for them.
Yeah.
And after a few seconds, they all come pouring into the room, and they start fighting. And she starts getting her ass kicked. And she turns this way, and the stairs up to the loading bay are right behind her. Why didn't you just go up the fucking stairs? Why are you bothering?
I don't know.
Just leave. Why are you doing any of this?
Well, now that's a good question for a lot of what happens. Why are you doing any of this?
Have the main batteries target the fortress. As they're leaving, have the main batteries target the fortress. And then Ahsoka's ship comes up from underneath. Target the main fort, but not that fucking giant ship that's been sitting there this whole time? That you didn't notice?
That's okay. When the batteries start shooting, they can't hit the building. They start hitting all around the building.
You understand?
I said shoot the building. How hard is it to shoot a building?
Oh, well, sorry. So we got distracted by this giant ship that's been sitting there this whole time. Hidden. How's it hidden? By going low. Okay.
Exactly as I had predicted.
That was a pathetically failed attempt at Han Solo's "You're all clear, kid."
Yeah.
What a fucking failure. Fucking failure. And then they showed the non-Jedi. You know, Hadi's going to join the Raiders, and the old man finds a statue of himself.
The only two characters that I even gave a crap about, the only two characters who were at all interesting in this entire series, and at the end of it, they're just like, and then I'm here now, I guess.
It's an afterthought, because the 14-year-old said what I was thinking. Like, oh shit, I completely forgot about these two guys.
Yes.
That's how inconsequential they are.
Yeah, so they just end up in places, and that's it. They had for a moment some kind of journey that they were going to go on. And then, I don't want to focus on that anymore. That's dumb.
Yeah, I have two more complaints, but remind me to come back to the journey part.
Okay, we'll come back to the journey part. I also had one other complaint. The scene where Ahsoka is fighting the lightsaber duel versus the magic green sword lady.
With Elizabeth.
What's her name, the actress?
Diana Inosanto.
Okay, she's a martial artist.
She's a legit Hong Kong trained action movie.
And if you see her in other movies, she's amazing.
Well, that's why she's a lot better than...
Yes. And she has to slow way, way down for Rosario Dawson.
Because it would look stupid,
I swear, Dawson's not that old, but she moves like she's 60. Is it
She's not an athlete.
Is it the makeup, or she's just...
She's not an athlete. She's not an athlete. Diana Inosanto, her dad is Dan Inosanto. Bruce Lee's prodigy.
Oh, no.
She's of that.
Yeah.
So yeah, she knows her fucking shit.
Yeah.
She knows how to move on camera. And she's fast and in shape.
Yeah.
And I would have loved to have seen what she could do with another properly trained stunt person. Because
that would have been quite cool.
It would have looked great.
Yes.
Sir, there's a shuttle missing. That's all right. And it's flying away from here.
I don't care.
Who cares? Should I take off my helmet so these friendlies don't shoot me? No, I'm going to walk halfway to the hangar bay dressed in my Nazi suit, and nobody's going to take a shot at me. Thank goodness.
And then I'm going to take it off, and we're going to have a tearful reunion. Just kidding. They're all going to go, sup. And I'm going to go, sup. And then it'll be over. That's your tearful reunion?
There's no mention at all that Sabine, through her selfish decision-making, has fucked the entire galaxy.
No.
She could have put a stop to this 6 episodes ago when Ahsoka screamed, "Blast the MacGuffin!" No, here, you guys take it. Because I want to go find Ezra and put trillions of lives in the galaxy at risk against what has been built up as the greatest existential threat to all of us.
Right.
Grand Admiral Thrawn. He turns out to be a joke.
Yeah.
But that's not how he was sold. Was it all worth it? She just brushes it over. It's like, well, it was the right choice for you, I guess. Do you understand what you've fucking done? It's just so stupid. This show is such garbage.
When we talk about the Mary Sue character, and we bring that up a lot,
Yeah.
I've heard it explained and described a lot of different ways. I mean, the absolute pinnacle of the Mary Sue character, for me, has to be Mulan from the live-action Mulan.
Oh, no.
I hate her. I hate her so much. But it's more than just having all this amazing power and not earning it and all of that stuff. It's no consequences.
Yeah.
I can do whatever I want and there are no
It doesn't
consequences. You had WandaVision, and Wanda decides to take a whole town hostage, and at the end everybody's like, we understand, it's okay. I know you tortured these people for at least a year, but we still love you. Yeah, cool. Redeemed.
Loki. He killed 30,000 people. He's adopted.
Yeah.
Ah, no,
Yeah,
he's a
it's
good
okay.
guy.
But he's fine.
That's
Yep.
a good guy.
Nope, all forgiven. It's fine.
Fucking dumb. All of it's
No
dumb.
consequences to actions.
No consequences and no development or growth. Let's take our
Yes.
main characters. Ahsoka.
Okay.
What does she start off as?
Ahsoka the Grey.
This okay. Oh, okay. So interesting. She's this bland, emotionless, fucking boiled potato of a character that goes like this, and she starts like this, and she stays like this. And when she has her episode, that's supposed to be her great awakening.
Right.
She runs into Anakin and learns it's not your fault, and you can be what you want to be. She comes out of it, but she hasn't changed at all. She's still this one-dimensional character who shows no emotion and does.
Yeah.
What was her change?
No.
Other than a costume change.
just the costume.
Sabine starts off as this fucking dipshit, smug little peckerhead who fucks the entire galaxy up. And she stays that way the whole time. By the end of the last episode, she's still this smug peckerhead that fucks up everything she touches.
Yes.
Ezra may as well not even be there.
There was no point to him. There's no point to him existing in this series.
Thrawn, this dipshit buffoon, who's supposed to be a great threat, but he's a buffoon. And he stays a dipshit buffoon the whole time. Nobody fucking went through any character arc.
No.
Nobody changed. Nobody learned anything.
Everybody is exactly the character they were when you first meet them. That's exactly who they are.
Even when an
at the
entire
end.
episode is dedicated to her completing her Jedi training and blossoming into Gandalf the White. She comes out exactly the fucking same. What was the point of any of it?
Well, I don't know. She smiled a little more, I guess, after the change or something.
Fuck, this is just the shittiest shit maybe ever. I mean, Boba Fett was
Boba
shit,
Fett was garbage.
but this is awfully close.
Yeah,
Awfully close to
it
being
really
so
is.
shitty.
It looks more visually interesting than Boba Fett.
And that's the only
but-
reason that it's not as
Right.
shitty as Boba Fett.
But story wise,
Garbage.
it's right up there with it.
Fuck. I mean, this was all a build-up to the Avengers Assemble moment where Thanos and all the different teams have to come together.
Yeah, which we called. We called it.
Wait,
I mean, like,
it was
okay,
obvious.
so they're all gonna fight Thanos.
It was obvious what they
whatever
were
his
doing
name
because
is.
Disney just follows the money-making formula, and this worked really well for Marvels.
Yep.
So let's do it for us here.
So now we're gonna get this movie, I guess. That's gonna come out in like a year or
I
two
don't
or
know that
something.
we're
I mean,
going to.
I mean, well, we will talk about that in another episode.
Oh, you want to do
but
a separate episode?
yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, it fits in.
Yeah,
all
that's-
right.
Yeah, I know it fits in here, but I feel like there's a lot to say.
I mean, if
about
if
that
all
one.
this was just a build-up to that movie,
Mhm.
where I guess Andor wouldn't fit, where Boba Fett and these characters come together,
These characters,
to
the
fight
Mandalorian, so you'll have Baby Yoda and
Right.
all that.
where
Yeah.
all those storylines come together to fight Thrawn, I'm not gonna care.
No,
I'm not gonna because it's not Star
nobody's
Wars
going
anymore.
to care.
It's not Star Wars anymore.
There-
Star Wars hasn't been Star Wars in a long time.
There's a very small handful of people who are like the die-hard fans of the Clone Wars and Rebels.
The
and they're-
cartoons,
The
yeah.
cartoons, yeah. And they're going to go see this movie, I guess, because for them, oh my gosh, you brought my animated characters to
Yeah.
life.
That's all they know about Star Wars. I'm trying to decide if it's the shittiest Star Wars I think I came to the conclusion it's the most poorly written Star Wars since maybe Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it was the shittiest because Boba Fett was the shittiest, but this is probably the worst written. It's right up there with the last.
Yeah,
Rise of Skywalker.
it's the worst written. It is definitely one of the worst directed.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like the weird pauses between character dialogue and I don't know, just the weird placement of
Yeah.
people. Like he didn't know where people needed to stand in a scene. So
Yeah.
you just kind of put people wherever and just tell everybody just fold your hands if you don't know what to do with your hands.
Yeah, he's
So
God, I don't want to turn it into a giant filmmaking course on why Wes Anderson is an infinitely better director. But I was just watching a scene breakdown, Wes Anderson in Rushmore,
okay.
where Fisher is apologizing to his lab partner for starting some rumor about his mom, and the kid is 10 years old, but Max Fisher's 15, and he's like crouching down, reading through some notes, and he looks up and says, "Hey, I'm sorry about what I said to your mom."
Hey. I'm sorry about what I said about your mom giving me a hand job.
I know, Max. I'm sorry I didn't take your hand when Buckton kicked your ass.
Hey, it's okay.
And he's like, the guys point out this is the most perfectly constructed scene because the 10-year-old still has to look down at him and say, "I accept your apology," and then Max can stand up.
Yeah.
This is a director that understands how to create emotion just by looking at the way the frame is composed.
Yes.
And this is a guy who just, okay, put them in front of the camera, say the words, next setup.
That is exactly it. If you want something that's a little bit more mainstream, compare this to the other show that came out at the same time, One Piece. Look at that visually, just where the cameras have to go.
Yeah.
And how it frames its shots, how it does the lighting. It's completely different than what we're seeing here, and it's so well done.
Because the directors looked at it and said, okay, what is the theme of this scene? What does it have to say? What does it have to feel like?
Mm-hmm.
And how can I frame it to contribute to that?
Yes.
It's not just the actor saying the words that creates the feeling.
And you can't just throw a camera in front of him and go, yeah, just go.
Otherwise, it may as well be radio.
Or Star Wars is filmed in front of a live studio audience. Which is really how it felt to me. It just felt like a sitcom.
It's so disappointing.
This is exactly how I would set up my cameras if I had an audience and I very limited in where I can put my camera.
Because that's all he knows. And it sucks for many, many reasons.
All right. So for us, Ahsoka, this was just awful. Would love to know from you guys, though, what did you think of Ahsoka? If you liked it, if you hated it. Judging by the ratings, not many of you liked it. But I know there are some fans out there, and I'm talking like goofy, crazy fans that like sobbed and cried. It was...
But those are very stupid people.
Yes.
They're shiny ob. You jingle your keys in front of them, and they're gonna jingling keys.
You people embarrass us.
I expect a lot better, and it's just getting worse.
It is getting worse. I want better from my Star Wars. I want to be able to love Star Wars. This shit ain't helping.
I don't want this to happen to me. What happened with me in Star Trek? Right? I gave up on I'm done with Star Trek.
That's harsh.
I mean, it's made a little bit of a thing. Strange New Worlds is great. Nobody watches it because it's a throwback to the original series where every episode we're confronting an issue. It's smart, it's intelligent, and it doesn't have broad appeal because it's smart and intelligent, and it makes you question. Ooh, I wonder. It makes you question what the issue that they're pointing out.
Right.
People don't want to do that. Just show me some laser fights. And Anakin! It's just dumb. The instant they started with the retconning. Because now you can just retcon anything and nobody gives a shit. Because we let them get away with it.
Yeah. And for those fans out there screaming, well, couldn't we have both? Can't both exist at the same time? I would argue, no. No, you have Star Wars. It's established. If you want to do something this vastly different, come up with your own shit.
Or keep it in the cartoons.
Or keep it in the cartoons.
Where at least you can mentally keep them separate.
Yeah. And if you don't think that's possible at all, I am really excited for Rebel Moon that is coming out next month.
Yeah.
Where, okay, this is sci-fi with spaceships and different planets and aliens and all the things that you would expect from Star Wars, but it is not Star Wars.
But it was supposed to be.
It was supposed to be. That's really funny. But
yeah, I'm
But the
intrigued.
fact that you took it away and you're like, okay, different show, different series.
Same story, though.
Same
we
story,
can keep the story
but-
the same,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what's going to make it good or bad.
Yeah, so I'm really curious about that, and it would be so funny to watch Netflix show up Disney Plus one more time.
Again.
All right, you know what to do. Like, subscribe,
Fuck off.
and comment down below. And we'll see you in another episode.
Bye now.
Later.